You got your orders to PCS to Colorado Springs and you clicked on this video. And in this video, we're going to talk about what is the best part of PCSing to Colorado Springs. We have 5 military installations here, which make us a unique market for real estate. Hey, Laura Gallant here with Mountain Prairie Living, your Colorado Springs realtor, and I'm so glad you're here. In today's video, I get to interview my professional real estate assistant, Elena Flannery. She also happens to be a military spouse who has made several PCS moves. So let me introduce Elena Flannery. Give me 1 second, I'll bring her on board. Here she is.
Hello.
Hey, Elena. So today we wanted to talk about what were some of the great things about Colorado Springs. If you just got your PCS orders here, Elena's been PCS'd here twice. This is going to be hopefully her last move here. So, but she definitely has some knowledge and skills and some things to share with you that should help you, because I know that sometimes it's your first military move and you get stationed here. And just getting a little bit more information is always helpful. It takes the stress out of it. And that's what we do as a team. We really work to help our clients de-stress and know that we're going to take them through the process. They make the decisions, but we'll help them there. And we help renters as well as buyers. So don't hesitate to reach out to a real estate professional to help with rentals or buying, just to get information on the market too, to find out what's going on. So Elena, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Tell them a little bit about your background of PCS moves and being a military spouse.
Sure. I've been doing it for 12 years now. We've moved 7 times in the 12 years. We've, like you said earlier, that I've been here in Colorado twice. And this is what I like to call our final resting place. This is it for us. We will retire out of here. And we chose and worked really hard the last few years to come back here because we knew this is where we wanted to be. And one of those reasons that was the deciding factor is really because it is such a military friendly town. And there's so many opportunities, not just for the enlisted being active duty, but outside of that, as a civilian, there's so many opportunities. So that's where we wanted to make sure that we were somewhere that we liked, that we could stay even after our active duty portion is up.
And I think that's what is a big draw for getting to some of these bases. We have Fort Carson Army Base, we have Schriever and Peterson Space Force bases, we have the North American Space Command here at the Cheyenne Mountain, and we have the U.S. Air Force Academy. So there's quite a few, and Buckley is down in Denver, just about an hour's down the road. So we definitely have quite a bit of military presence here, and it's just a wonderful place to be. But aside from that, it's stinking gorgeous here, right? I mean, there's so much to do. So we're going to do just kind of a question and answer. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. So why is Colorado Springs one of the most desired PCS locations from a military perspective?
From a military perspective, I would definitely say a lot of it has to do with just the military friendly community that it is. And like I mentioned earlier, there's so many opportunities here. So a lot of times people in the military would like, I would say the majority would like to homestead. They don't want to have to move around a lot. And this is one of the unique places where you could spend most of your career. I know quite a few people that have been here for 9, 10, 11 years, and they haven't had to move because they're able to bounce around from the different bases to different squadrons. And that's a really cool thing. It's not like that in other places. Another really cool thing about Colorado Springs specifically is you do have a regional airport here, but you're only about an hour and 20 minutes from an international airport, which is very important because a lot of us don't have family here. They're all scattered throughout the United States. And it makes traveling home to see your family and your friends a lot easier than if you had to drive, 2, 3, 4 hours to a big airport.
Okay. So heavily populated military areas are great for support and networking events and connections. Does it help to make connections once you're here? What do you recommend families do to make fast connections, or even singles do to make fast connections once they're here so they feel like it becomes more like home for them?
I think that it's really important to get connected as quickly as you can, especially if you have kids, because that will help with the transition. One of the ways you can do that is most squadrons and most bases have Facebook groups and different types of social medias that you can get involved in. And that's where they'll post events of things that are coming up, different resources. So that's a great way to go, is to look on Facebook and look into those groups. There's also the Military Family Readiness Center, which you can go there and they have tons of resources for childcare, for upcoming events. There's a lot of things there, and every base is going to have that. It might be called something different on Army bases and whatnot, or Army posts. Another thing you can do is get involved with the key spouse. So a lot of squadrons do have a key spouse. I happen to be the key spouse for my husband's squadron. And it's a program that was developed in the 1980s to help kind of bring the military family, the dependents, in on what's happening in the squadron and keep them connected by hosting events, by providing resources and helping to build the community between what happens kind of in the squadron and what's going on, and then what's going on at home, and making sure that no one feels lonely or left behind.
That's a really important role. So I'm so glad you're doing that. I know you're a great fit for that. But I think it's an important role to know that, especially for the newer military spouses, or, it could be male or female, that's the military spouse, but to understand that making that connection in your new city or PCS station is so important. And I think that's a big part of having a better experience, because sometimes it is a short term that you're here. And I think, like you said, the amount of military presence that we have, retired as well as active, really makes it a city that is cognizant of it. You'll see it in the restaurants. You'll see it at the DMV. I just went to the DMV and registered my car, and military always go first. So there's a definite understanding and respect for the service that your family and many other families do for it. And of course, I'm always grateful. So let's see, what are some of the favorite things that you like to do for yourself and your hubby, or with the kids? Because, if you're coming in as a family, or if you're coming in as a single, what are the things that you guys do to keep yourself connected and just enjoying that downtime that you get?
Right. Some of the things I like to do, or our family likes to do, is we love to try different restaurants. And as you know, living here, there are so many restaurants. I feel like you could try a new restaurant every single week and still not even get close to doing all the restaurants here in the Springs. It's so much fun to try new foods, new restaurants, and they're opening up all the time. So that's something we like to do. We do love Great Wolf Lodge, which is right here, and it's so much fun.
So tell them a little bit about that.
Yeah, Great Wolf Lodge is a hotel that has a water park inside, and it's so much fun. They have a mini golf course, an arcade. There's tons of stuff you can do while you stay there, and you don't have to leave, because there's restaurants, and then there's all the fun activities. And it's, from our house, it's about 30 minutes away, so it's not even that far.
Little staycation here.
A little staycation.
Yeah. And we just did a short jaunt up to Hot Springs in Buena Vista, and that could be a day trip. It's a 2-hour drive. We did it for a weekend, and they have great restaurants up there too, and amazing views. It's beautiful up there. Skiing is super close. You've got Monarch, which is a little over about 2.5 hours, or you got about 2 hours to Breckenridge area, and you can get to A Basin in about 2.5. We are very close. You just go up these backside, so you don't have to take I-70. I-70 is always a mess. But skiing and outdoor recreation is really close too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That's another thing that we love here, is all the outdoor activities. There's hiking that you can do, Garden of the Gods. There's anything from easy to intermediate and advanced hikes, like hiking a 14er. It's just all at our fingertips.
Yeah, and I think you'll find in a lot of the communities, that's something that they build. If it's a plan unit community like a Wolf Ranch or a Banning Lewis, they really strive to make sure that there's outdoor trails. Wolf Ranch has its own water lake, so you can do paddleboarding on it, and that they have HOAs that cover that, but they also do weekend in the summer events. They have concerts, they bring in food trucks. Those plan unit communities, while they have an HOA, there's an advantage to them because they really help you get out and connect to your community. So I'd say Colorado Springs really does have a large desire to make this city connected. I know for senior pop as well as the younger crowd. And I think that's one of the things I love about Colorado Springs. Okay, let's see. Finding schools for your kids. Was it a challenge? And what do you like about our school system here?
I would say the most challenging part about finding schools is just deciding where you want to live, because that's really going to narrow down, okay, where are my kids going to go to school? What zone are they in? What's really great about this area is you do have the option to choice in your child to a certain school. So if you live in a particular zone and you should be going to this school, you can fill out forms and apply to have your child go to a different school that you would prefer, which is great. We love the schools, and we love that all the registration process used to be just a giant paper packet that you would go have to physically pick up. And now it's all online. All the forms are online. So I was able to register both my high schooler and my elementary school student in Virginia when we were still living there for school here. And it was just very simple. And everyone that I spoke to at the district were very helpful and educational on just, what is the new process, because this is our second time living here. And I was, like I said, I was very excited to see that everything was online and I could just do it remotely.
Yeah, and your high schooler is in a brand new high school too, because you guys bought out in an area that's been developing, and that
Mhm.
so and on that note, there's so many great neighborhoods. There's
Right.
downtown City Central, there's downtown, there's West Side along the mountains, there's the eastern area out on the prairie land, but all of them have amazing views, different of Pikes Peak in the Front Range. We just
Mhm.
have this spectacular view here in Colorado Springs. So that's kind of a good part of moving or getting PCS here too. Um, how did you choose where to live? Like, what made you make that decision? How did you find the neighborhood that best fit you? I know everyone's different, but from my, Google mapping, where the particular person is PCS to what base or, as you said, post they would be at. Really, I think even from Monument, which is the far northern part of our area, down to the south side being a
Mhm.
little bit closer to some of those air bases or Space Force bases or posts, aren't too far. I'd say 45 minutes. So if you're coming in from a bigger city, there's a few things that you do need to be aware of that I would love for you to point out. But how did you choose what was the right place for you with a family?
Well, having the advantage of living here once before and owning a home and also renting, we had an idea of the area already, and we always knew back in 2012 through 2015 that we wanted to be out here on the east side in the Falcon Payton area. So coming back here, we already had like, this is where we want to go. And we really didn't even entertain any other areas, even though there might be houses that, oh, this house is really nice. We knew this is where we want to be. And part of the decision for that is a lot of our friends are here in Falcon. So, I mean, it's a hop, skip, and a jump to three of my best friends' houses, which was part of the decision. And we love it out here. We love that we're close enough to the city of Colorado Springs that everything's there at our fingertips, but we're also far enough away that it's a little bit quieter, a little bit less busy out here. And we really like that. I know it won't be like that forever because it is developing like crazy, and that's fine. But for right now, it is a little bit quieter and we really enjoy it.
And so from that area, how far is it to Schriever or Peterson Space Force Base?
So it's about 25 minutes to Schriever and it's about 30 minutes to Peterson. So it's not too bad. And obviously, you can go through town. It's going to take you a little bit longer, but you can take Mark Shuffle with some of the back roads that just are basically a straight shot.
And I think to the Army post, Fort Carson, it's a little bit longer depending on how you go. There's a lot of different back roads, but
Right.
many people choose for a variety of reasons. Some people choose the west side. There's, the value increases if you're looking at the value of the home over time. The new builds, they will definitely have increases in value, but the west side is the highly desirable area. So you know that those homes will probably hold their value and increase well too. Colorado
Mhm.
Springs has had value increases year over year. Even last year, we ended at like 8.3% value appreciation over the year. I
Wow.
think this year will be kind of flat to a little bit more, but it's just a supply and demand situation. So it's definitely low inventory right now for rentals as well as home purchases. So if you have your PCS orders, connect to me as fast as you can, because I'm going to help you make those connections with finding out the resources for rentals, or if you want to start looking, reaching out to a lender or any of those things, because I do focus on a lot of PCS moves. But now that you're here and it's the final move, what are some of the things that they should know about making this move to Colorado, besides what I just said, that, we are in a low inventory, we have a high PCS season with all of these military installations. We know they need to connect fast. What do you suggest?
I suggest, don't drag your feet, don't waste any time. Figure out what you want to do. And some people, the plan might be to live on base. And if that's the case, there's always a wait list. So getting on that wait list as soon as possible, even if you decide to change your mind, get on the wait list, because like I said, it's going to take time because of that wait list, and because it's highly populated military, PCS season, it's just very busy. So not dragging your feet and just really taking initiative and figuring out and knowing your plan for your family, if it's to live on base, to rent, or to buy, and what's going to make the most sense for you, especially if I'm only going to be there 3 years, or hey, we want to be here for the long term. It can help kind of determine what your decision will be.
Yeah. And I know right now, Fort Carson, even the hotel for the short term is full and has wait lists. They will help you find another hotel that also serves military. But I already know in January and February, those areas were already full. So as we come into PCS season, it's even going to get more. I know Schriever has a backup also for that, but I agree with you. They should get on the wait list no matter what, so that at least they're on the wait list, and then be able to have some choices if needed. Of course, there's short-term rentals and things, but those go very fast. So I think that's great. I'm really excited that you're moving to Colorado Springs for your PCS move, or even if you're just making a PCS move, we hope these tips help you. Elena Flannery is actually, give her some good juju, because she's competing next, next Saturday? Not this Saturday, the following Saturday, to become Mrs. Colorado. She is currently Mrs. Falcon, which is the area she lives in. And then of course we met in the fitness field years ago, and we've been friends, but it's a great place to be. And we're going to share with you in this series, a couple of videos on questions of things that you might want to know about PCSing to Colorado Springs. So if you are, or you just want to know more about PCS moves, then subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, and share it with anybody you know who's moving to this area. And if you need assistance with rentals or purchases, or just finding out a little bit more information about our area, then feel free to reach out to me. My contact information will be listed below. And if you'd like to know more about some tips on a PCS move, then check out the video right after this one. I'm so glad you are here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks, Elena.
Thank you.